For a long weekend getaway, my boyfriend took me on a road trip without telling me where we were going, only saying he had a surprise for me. The car drove all day, and we finally arrived in the remote mountain wilderness. Only then did I learn that his surprise was a partner swap party. Temporarily breaking up with your current partner to pick someone of the opposite sex and form a new couple. Then staying up all night for absolute madness. Brandon offered me up to his friends. Brandon pulled out lace fabric pieces and handed them to me, his tone one that brooked no argument. Sam, change into these. We're just playing around. Go along with us, and you can have fun too. Don't think about running. This is an isolated area I handpicked, you can't possibly escape. You're no different from easy prey right now. But my boyfriend didn't know this mountain was mine. The real sitting ducks were them. Wow. Brandon, your girlfriend is definitely the hottest girl I've ever seen. Brandon, Manitoba, you're generous. Willing to share a socialite like her. Tonight's gonna be fun. Brandon's friends, Marty and Brad, were staring at me with gleaming eyes, muttering vulgar things. His best friend, Ethan the doctor, didn't say anything. He was bent over setting up a tent, his aura chillingly sinister, more unsettling than any other man there. Sensing something was wrong, I turned to run. But Brandon grabbed my wrist. Gone was his usual gentle demeanor, replaced by a cruel look on his face. Ever heard of a couple swap game? Baby, how about we play this game for the next few days? It'll be awesome. Brandon's tone was final. He pulled several pieces of lace fabric from his pocket and told me to change into them. I couldn't believe my boyfriend, normally straight-laced and academically excellent, could be so low. I refused immediately. I'm not playing. I want to go home. But I couldn't shake off Brandon's hand no matter how hard I tried. Baby, you came without telling your parents, and I've taken your phone. Tonight you'll be the center of this game. There's no way you're getting out of it. Before we came, Brandon had vaguely called it an adventurous sport, saying he was afraid my parents would disapprove, so I should keep it a secret from them. I thought it would be skiing or climbing, but I never expected it to be a couple swap. Feeling like he'd made a fool of me, I couldn't hold back anymore. I raised my hand and slapped him, demanding, I've been so good to you. I bought you designer clothes and shoes, took you on international trips, wired you money every week. Why are you doing this to me? His veins bulged, and he started yelling. Because I overheard what your parents said. They said you were still young, and it was fine to just mess around with a broke college student like me. But once you were done having fun, they'd make you break up with me and demand back all the money you spent on me. I shook my head frantically. I never said I wanted to break up. I love you. My parents have always doted on me. If I said I wanted to marry you, they wouldn't refuse. But now, my love had vanished. The cruelty in Brandon's eyes softened slightly. No, 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 baby. I only trust myself. I'll record you looking all wild and show it to your parents. They'll definitely beg me to marry you. Brandon pointed to the backpack on the ground and spoke to his friends. Set up the camera. Tonight I'm capturing Sam at her finest. With that, he reached out and touched my face. Baby, don't worry. You bought this camera for me for over $60,000. I guarantee it'll make you look good. A wave of revulsion washed over me. Marty and Brad scrambled forward eagerly, laughing and fiddling with the camera. Damn, Brandon, Manitoba, your girlfriend is loaded to afford a camera this expensive. I want to take some shots too. Tiffany, wearing a short red dress and her signature waves, walked out of a tent, asking as she AP. Wait, what's this about a $60,000 camera? Hurry and take my picture, I need to post it. Her eyes landed on Brandon and stopped. She batted her eyelashes at him, her voice syrupy. Wow. Handsome. You're so hot, will you pick me later? We can spend the night together. Brad looked over at Ethan, who was setting up a tent, and started complaining. Dr. Ethan, where'd you find a cheap date like her? 1 minute she wants me, the next she's after Brandon, Manitoba. Online. Ethan calmly uttered 2 words, then continued setting up the tent. I don't have a girlfriend. If I wanted to join this game, I had to find someone quickly online. Hearing this, my eyes widened. While I didn't know Brad and Marty well, I knew Ethan. He was the cold, aloof campus heartthrob, known throughout the university for his emotional purity. At that moment, I fully realized how utterly depraved Brandon and his friends were. I shoved Brandon away with all my might and ran, trying to escape the remote mountain wilderness. But after only a few steps, my legs turned to jelly, my head spun, and I collapsed. I saw Brandon walk towards me step by step. He scooped me up in his arms, looking at me, a smile in his voice. Ethan's drugs work pretty well. It was then I realized the water bottle I drank from when I got out of the car was tainted. He and Ethan were in on it together. With my last ounce of strength, I screamed at Brandon, "You bastard. If you dare touch me, I'll make you pay with your life, whatever it takes." That only earned me a light chuckle from Brandon. "Fine. I'll just cripple you, make you mute, leave you barely alive. I'll stay by your side, pretending to be devoted, and see if your parents aren't deeply grateful to me. The outcome will be the same. Stop wasting your energy, Summer." I was half dead inside and had no strength left to struggle. I could only let Brandon carry me into the tent. Outside the tent, Brad and Marty were peering in, their faces alight with anticipation, eager to watch. I pleaded desperately, "Brandon, don't do this. I've known you for 3 years, spent 1,000 sweet days together. I truly love you. You shouldn't treat me like this. Please, let me go." He put me down. Leaning in close to my ear, he said, "Just be obedient, and you'll suffer less. My friends here aren't bad looking, it's not like you're settling. Go along with us, and you can have fun too. Don't think about running. This is an isolated area I handpicked, you can't possibly escape. You're no different from easy prey right now." His words made me sick to my stomach. "Brandon, you deserve to rot." Brandon was unconcerned. He threw the lace fabric pieces to the 3 girls wearing skimpy outfits. "Change Summer's clothes," he ordered. "As soon as it gets dark, our game begins." Lily quickly agreed. "Okay, Brandon, darling." Then she came over to take off my clothes. They yanked and pulled, sharp nails scratching my skin. When they were done, I had numerous red marks all over me. She leaned in close to my ear. "Summer, why don't you just die? If you die, Brandon will be mine." I only got close to Marty for this day. "Tonight, I'll make you watch as Brandon and I sleep together." I shot back, "You want trash like him? Take him. You're trash too, a perfect match for Brandon." Lily was infuriated and grabbed my neck. "Don't you dare talk about Brandon, darling, like that." Suffocation combined with the drug's effects, and I passed out. When I woke up again, it was completely dark, which meant the so-called game was about to begin. The mountain air was cold at night. Although I had a blanket, the negligible amount of clothing offered no warmth at all, making me shiver. I was surprised to find that my strength had returned, so I got up to run. But before I could tear open the tent, Brandon caught me red-handed. He stared at me blankly, asking in a chilling voice, "Trying to run away, baby?" He reached out to pull off the blanket covering me. "Summer, I told you you can't escape. Go along with us and you can have fun too. Why can't you be a good girl?" I grabbed his hand, looking at him pleadingly. "I wasn't trying to run. It's just a game, right? I can play. But I'm cold. Can I take this off after the game starts?" Brandon smiled, rubbed my face, looking pleased. "That's better. Come eat. We can eat and play at the same time." Obediently, I wrapped myself in the blanket and went out. The 6 of them were sitting in a circle, drinking and eating. When they saw me, Brad and Marty started whistling and clapping. "Come on over, beautiful." I sat down. Marty offered me some barbecue, but I was afraid it was drugged, so I put it down. Brandon pulled out a box filled with various cards. As the cards landed, he said, "All right, let the game begin. Rolling dice, moving spaces, completing tasks. Whoever reaches the end of the map first gets to pick their swap partner first. I won rock, paper, scissors, so I rolled first. After rolling a 2, I drew a truth card. After thinking for a moment, I asked, I want to know where this is? Their faces instantly changed. I quickly explained, don't misunderstand. I know I can't get away. I just want to know where I am when I die, so I don't end up a wandering ghost. Ethan, who had been silent, spoke up. Blackwood Mountain. My heart sank. Blackwood Mountain? Isn't this the mountain my dad just bought, where he's planning to build a villa for retirement? Construction has already started. And I heard my dad say it's hard to get around here, so the workers usually stay on the mountain. They patrol with drones every 5 hours to prevent fires during dry conditions. The woods are thick, so the drones might not see the tents during the day, but they'll definitely see lights at night. If I can just hold out until the workers come, I'll be rescued. And then, I'll make sure Brandon and his friends are finished. Then I'll be the knife. And they'll be the sitting ducks. Summer, what are you thinking about? Don't even think about running. You can't escape. Ethan's nonchalant words brought me back to reality. My heart pounded, but I kept a smile on my face. Nothing. At this point, where would I run? What time is it? Ethan said lightly, that's your second question. Brad took a sip of his drink and told me directly, it's 7:55. Almost 8. Then he looked at me lecherously. What, sleepy, beautiful? Want to pick me? We can skip the game and just go to bed. I rolled my eyes. No thanks. 5 minutes until 8, 5 minutes until the drone patrol. The game continued. I looked up at the sky, hoping for a glimpse of the drone, but I accidentally made eye contact with Brandon. He seemed to sense something. He picked up a half-empty bottle of water and walked over to me. Before I could react, he grabbed the bottle and shoved it into my mouth. The bitter taste told me something was wrong. I immediately gagged, trying to spit it out. But Brandon grabbed my hands. Sam, aren't you cold? This water will warm you up, make you so hot you won't want to wear clothes. Do you like that? Don't you dare spit it out, or I'll pour more down your throat. My hands trembled with rage. Luckily, I saw the faint light of the drone. I forced myself to stay calm and slapped Brandon, hoping to draw attention. Brandon, you're utterly despicable. How can there be such an animal in this world? You're going to get what's coming to you. Brandon grabbed my neck and pinned me to the ground. When are you going to drop that arrogant heiress act? Still acting high and mighty now? Brandon started yanking at the blanket covering me. Everyone was cheering. Pull harder. Go! Go! We wanna see. The blanket was ripped off. Brandon tried to pull off the 2 pieces of fabric covering my chest. The cheering grew louder. Holy hell! This is hot. Take pictures, record it. Phones were pointed at me. I honestly won. Ted to bite off my tongue. But thankfully, before I was completely exposed, the blanket was pulled back over me. Ethan's voice, calm but commanding, said, stop. Brandon let go of me. Ethan continued, if we're playing a game, we need rules. No going rogue. If you strip her, you strip too. Brandon glared at Ethan defiantly. Who the hell do you think you are? Why the hell should I take off my clothes? Ethan didn't say anything, just gave him a loaded look and said, you don't have to. Then he started rolling the dice. Brandon took off his clothes, veins bulging with anger, but he didn't dare act out. After all, Ethan was a medical student, and a top one at that. He could poison everyone there with just any random drug. And given his personality, he definitely brought poison this time. Well then, I'll make this bottle of poison work for me and end this game once and for all. Ethan rolled a 5 and landed on the space that required him to kiss the person to his left. And the person to his left was me. But kissing a devil like him? I'd rather die. I shook my head. I'm not kissing you. Marty and Brad started jeering. Ethan, man, Summer thinks you're gross. Ethan's face darkened. Do I disgust you that much? I nodded. Yes. Every single person here disgusts me. Ethan smiled, grabbed my hair, and humiliatingly patted my face. Looks like the dose wasn't strong enough. He pulled a small bottle from his pocket, pinched my chin, and said, 20 times the concentration. I'll wait until you're begging me to take you. Everyone fell silent. I desperately clawed at my throat, but Ethan grabbed my neck, preventing me from throwing up. He said calmly, game on. Marty spoke up, addressing Ethan. Ethan, man, I want to have a turn with Summer too. Can I have her when you're done? Ethan nodded. A bitch like this should be shared by everyone. Seeing the lights in the distance, I asked Ethan, do you have more of this drug? Ethan nodded. What? Haven't had enough? Yeah, I have plenty. No. It's for you to drink. For every single one of you here. You love games, right? How about we go live? Let the whole country see your faces when the drugs kick in, huh? This is my territory. Now you're the sitting ducks. The dense lights were getting closer and closer. Everyone there panicked, grabbing their things and running. I got up and ran towards the lights. When I saw that Uncle Mike was leading them, I felt completely relieved. Uncle Mike was shocked to see me, his face showing disbelief. My heiress, what are you doing here? Uncle Mike, I need a doctor. These people drugged me, I don't have much time. Have your men catch the ones who ran, trap them here, don't let a single one escape. All right, heiress, don't talk anymore. I'll get you to the first aid tent. I'll call Mr. Summers right away and have him come get you. I shook my head. Don't call my dad. This is a young people's game. We'll handle it ourselves. Uncle Mike didn't say anything else, just ordered his men, go find them. Once you find them, tie them up, take their phones, and turn them off. Uncle Mike drove me to the temporary first aid tent set up for the workers. The doctor had my stomach pumped and gave me 5 or 6 injections of medication. That finally suppressed the drugs prepared by Ethan. When I woke up, the first thing I wanted to do was make Brandon and his friends pay. But Uncle Mike told me, looking troubled, that they only found 5 people. 2 had gotten away. The ones they caught were tied up at the campsite. I told the driver to hurry so I could see who they caught. When I saw them, a surge of blind fury rose within me. From the car, I saw in the distance 2 men and 3 women tied to trees. And of course, the ones who deserved it most, Ethan and Brandon, had gotten away. Uncle Mike saw how angry I was and quickly explained. Those 2 must have planned this. Their escape route was prearranged. I had someone look into them and found out they went back to their hometown. They seemed to be neighbors. Should we go after them? I smiled. Back to their hometown. Perfect. No need. I'll go to his hometown myself. I took Uncle Mike's phone and called Brandon. He didn't answer. Then, relying on my memory, I called Brandon's mother. The call connected. A woman's voice came through. Hello? Who's this? Aunt Carol, it's Summer. I couldn't reach Brandon on his cell. He must be sleeping. Aunt Carol's voice became cheerful. Summer! I'll wake Brandon right up. He came back yesterday and said you were too busy to come for the long weekend getaway. I was so disappointed. From the other end of the line, I heard Aunt Carol knocking and calling Brandon's name to wake him up. I said, nothing to be disappointed about. I'm coming today. Aunt Carol, make sure the whole family is there to welcome me. Aunt Carol's laughter rang out. Of course. Don't worry, I promise, the whole family will be here, and I'll cook the most lavish meal for you. Hurry over! Mom, what is it? Why are you waking me up? I was practically dead to the world. Brandon's voice came from the other end. I asked, Brandon, miss me? Dead silence. Then a loud bang as a door slammed shut, followed by hurried footsteps. Brandon's voice was hoarse with apology. Summer, you weren't harmed, were you? Why are you clinging to this? His words made me gasp for breath in anger. If Brandon had been in front of me, I would have slapped him without hesitation. Forcing me to wear revealing clothes isn't harm. Drugging me isn't harm. Stripping me to film me isn't harm. Even wanting to cripple me, turn me into a vegetable to scam my parents out of money isn't harm? Brandon, every single thing you did, you're going to pay for it. Wait for me at home. I'm coming for you. Make sure Ethan is there too. I'm going to make you both face consequences. Brandon's voice on the phone grew weak. Kerr. Summer, I love you. I was just afraid you were too good for me, that you'd leave. Come. I'll be waiting for you at home. Do whatever you want to me, kill me if you have to, as long as it makes you feel better. I love you, Summer. Brandon's fake words made me sick to my stomach. I hung up, not wanting to hear his voice anymore. Once I finished dealing with things here, I would deal with him. I got out of the car and approached the people who were tied up. Seeing me, they all started begging for mercy. The loudest was Tiffany, who was crying hysterically. Eris, please let me go. I know I was wrong. This had nothing to do with me. I was just an actor, hired for the job, doing it for the money. Brad immediately shifted the blame. Summer, it was Brandon's idea, we were all manipulated by him. Now he's dead, which is what he deserved. Please let us go. Marty quickly chimed in. That's right, it was all Brandon's idea, we're innocent, let us go. I slapped each of them. Shut up. You're innocent? Everyone involved in this disgusting setup deserves to die. When I was being tormented, you were cheering and taking pictures, egging them on. None of you are innocent, you all deserve to die. Among their supplies, I found a full box of the medication prepared by Ethan. Putting on gloves, I picked it up and examined them one by one. Poison, sedative, aphrodisiac, everything was there. I untied Tiffany. She was instantly deeply grateful to me. Eris, may you live a long life. This really had nothing to do with me. I'll leave right now and pretend this whole thing never happened. Saying this, she started to run, but I had my men stop her. Then I said to her, there are a lot of drugs here. Everyone has to drink one bottle. You distribute them. Tiffany knelt at my feet. I just came to play a game. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. Please let me go. If you don't give them a drink, you'll drink all of them yourself. Tiffany stopped crying, picked you. The bottles of drugs one by one, and trembling, walked up to the tied-up people and forced a bottle down each of their throats. As she force-fed them, she apologized, it's not me giving you the drugs. If anything happens, find the right person to blame. Drink one yourself, or I'll kill you. Tiffany drank a bottle of aphrodisiac. I had my men tie them up again. 20 times the potency. Enjoy. They immediately started gagging, trying to throw up the drugs, but I wouldn't let it happen. I simply had my men stuff rags in their mouths. I waited quietly for the drugs to take effect. Half an hour later, Lily and Megan, who had taken the sedative, lost consciousness. Marty, Brad, and Tiffany started grinding against the ground more and more frequently, even moving closer to rub against each other. I watched them silently. When their eyes were bloodshot and they were trembling violently, I set up their phones, ready to record. As their ropes were loosened, they clung to each other like madmen. The silent live stream began. As I turned to leave, I saw something approaching the group. Looking closely, I saw a snake. A black one. Uncle Mike said, Eris, that snake is poisonous, highly venomous. Don't get close. Poisonous. Perfect. The snake bit a few people. Soon they were foaming at the mouth and convulsing. Entertained to death. Isn't that exactly what they wanted? I grabbed a few bottles of the drugs Ethan had prepared, turned, and left, taking Uncle Mike and David and Mark, my 2 bodyguards, with me to find Brandon. We drove to the banquet hall the Chin family had booked. When I arrived, Brandon was standing outside the banquet hall, waiting for me. As I got out, he rushed over immediately, grabbed my hand, his eyes red-rimmed. Baby, I was wrong. Can you forgive me? I yanked my hand away. Why should I forgive you? Brandon pulled a knife from his pocket. David and Mark, my 2 bodyguards, immediately stepped in front of me. A look of panic flashed in Brandon's eyes, then he handed me the knife. Baby, if you're angry, just stab me. Kill me. I was manipulated by Ethan, everything was his idea. He chose the location, he prepared the drugs. I loved you too much, I felt I wasn't good enough for you, I was afraid you'd leave me, so I wanted to create a stain on you, make you belong to me forever. Actually, when we were playing, I'd already decided I would choose you. I wouldn't let anyone touch you. Brandon's words once again shattered my understanding of him. I never imagined he could be so shameless. I threw the knife on the ground. Forget it. If I killed you, I'd have to face legal consequences. Brandon picked up the knife and put it against his wrist. Baby, if you're afraid of the responsibility, I'll do it myself. Saying this, Brandon started to slit his wrist. Baby, I love you, I truly do. I was just temporarily misled, I made a mistake. I don't dare ask for your forgiveness, I just want to atone, to make you happy. I watched Brandon's performance silently, thinking if he actually had the guts to kill himself, I'd let him die a clean death. But when Brandon saw I had no intention of stopping him, he stopped what he was doing, pressing hard on the small cut the knife had made, preventing the blood from flowing out. I sneered, what, suddenly don't want to die? A flicker of awkwardness crossed Brandon's eyes, then he explained, no, I just don't want to die in front of you. I'm afraid it would upset you. Besides, today is Grandma Betty's birthday. I'll die tomorrow. I wanted to argue with him, but his family came out. The whole family, lined up neatly, to welcome me. Aunt Carol naturally took my hand. Sam, are you tired from the trip? Are you hungry? Who are these people? I haven't seen them before. Come on, let's go up and eat. That's Uncle Mike and David and Mark, my 2 bodyguards. I explained casually. Aunt Carol warmly invited them upstairs. The moment Aunt C. Errol turned, she saw the wound on Brandon's hand. She cried out in alarm. What happened? How did you get hurt? Is it serious? Hurry upstairs and let Ethan take a look. Hearing that Ethan was also there, I felt reassured. The drugs he prepared shouldn't just be for Brandon, he deserved a taste himself. Holding the aphrodisiac, I went upstairs. Inside the private room, Ethan was bandaging Brandon. Grandma Betty saw me and slammed her cane hard on the floor. My grandson was perfectly fine when he left. How did he come back injured? What did you do to him? Ever since I started dating Brandon, this grandmother had found me spoiled. I couldn't explain myself to her, and frankly, I couldn't be bothered. So I decided to just act. I didn't do anything. He cut his own wrist. I'm still confused about it. It scared me so much. Brandon, why did you do that? Brandon said, Grandma, it was an accident, it has nothing to do with Sam. Today is your 80th birthday, let's be happy. Grandma Betty still looked resentful. My grandson came back and collapsed into sleep. Clearly you two argued. Summer, I'm telling you, finding someone like our Brandon, who puts up with your heiress tantrums, you should be deeply grateful. Don't be so spoiled. To prepare for drugging them later, I continued to endure it. You're right, I won't be spoiled anymore. The old hag finally looked satisfied. Once his wound was bandaged, Brandon leaned in close to me, lowering his voice, asking hopefully, you were worried about me, weren't you? You've forgiven me, haven't you? Sam, I knew you were the best. I smiled. Heh heh heh. The dinner began. The old hag started finding fault. Didn't even bring a gift, how rude. I took out the drugs Ethan had prepared and handed them to the old hag. Of course I brought a gift. This little bottle contains a tonic. Ethan knows how good it is, a small bottle is priceless. Drinking it means a long life isn't just a dream. Right, Ethan? Ethan nodded. Ed, his face like stone. The old hag, clearly unworldly, her eyes lit up instantly, and she beckoned me over. Hurry, let me see what this wonderful medicine is. Brandon blocked me, his eyes full of panic. I had my bodyguards hold Brandon down. Brandon, don't be so anxious. Grandma definitely needs to drink this. Unless, you want to drink it? Brandon understood the hidden meaning in my words. He snatched the bottle from my hand and downed it in one gulp. Taste good? I asked Brandon. Brandon nodded. Delicious. The old woman started pounding the table, her eyes full of urgency. Grandson, how could you drink that? That was Grandma's medicine for a long life. She asked me, Sam, do you have any more? Brandon grabbed my hand under the table. I reversed my grip and pressed down on his cut wrist, enjoying his expression of pain. No, that was the only bottle of such wonderful medicine. Brandon and Ethan both breathed a sigh of relief. Ethan even picked up a glass of wine from the table and took a sip. But he didn't know I had already poured another bottle into his wine. After half an hour of drinking and chatting, Brandon's breathing became heavier and heavier. Ethan was also getting restless. After exchanging glances, they both said they needed to go to the restroom. My bodyguards followed them. 5 minutes later, an argument broke out in the hallway. How can you do this to my sister? I'm putting this online. I said, that sounds like my bodyguards. I'll go take a look. Stepping out of the private room, I saw my bodyguards dragging the two linked men directly from the restroom into the hallway. The drugs were too potent. The two men seemed disoriented, still moving. People from the other private rooms also came out. Everyone started filming. The internet spreads things fast. I was sure this was already going viral. Afraid people wouldn't get the full picture, I spoke up directly, calling out, the star athlete and the top medical student from Oakwood University are capable of this kind of thing. The wretched old woman, Grandma Betty, immediately fainted. After a few struggles on the ground, she stopped breathing. Uncle Robert checked the old woman's breath, then his whole body started shaking. He clenched his fist and moved towards Brandon. He stomped on Brandon's face. You animal! Getting drunk and doing something like this. You killed your grandmother. You deserve to die. Aunt Carol and Ethan's father rushed forward. Aunt Carol was trying to pull people away. Honey, no. That's our son. Ethan's father was beating him like he wanted to kill him. You shameless piece of trash, just as cheap as your mother. How could I have a son like you? You've completely ruined my reputation. He delivered several brutal kicks to Ethan's stomach, knocking him conscious. Ethan screamed hysterically at me, I'll kill you. Summer, don't you ever fall into my hands, or I'll kill you. I shook my head. You got drunk and acted out. What does that have to do with me? Ethan's father hit him even harder, beating him and yelling, you trash. You're trash yourself and you blame others? You really deserve to die. Gradually, Ethan stopped moving. He's dead. Murder! Someone in the crowd yelled this, and the scene became even more chaotic. Brandon had drunk a whole bottle of the drug. At this point, he had lost all control. He started pawing at his father indiscriminately. Uncle Robert was furious. He grabbed Brandon and dragged him into the elevator. He pressed the button for the top floor. A few minutes later, a person fell from outside the window. Stepping out to look, it was Brandon. Bloody and mangled, his body completely destroyed. Game over.